Hi everybody, this is Sheldon St. Clair. Hope you guys are okay. Excuse the shirt, it's really hot today, so I needed something summery to wear. I don't know how long this sun's going to last, to be honest. It could be raining this afternoon, it could be raining tomorrow. Okay, so getting quickly to it, I want to talk about the project life cycle and the stages within the life cycle. Now, I think the two main types which are in flavour at the moment, so the waterfall one and agile. I probably will do a video on agile, but for the moment I'll look at the traditional waterfall. And again, the terms differ depending on the organisation you're in, depending on the company you're in, depending on the type of project you work on. But there's a project life cycle typically follows 5 phases or 5 steps or 5 what have you. So you've got your startup, got your initiate stage, you've got your planning, you've got your execution, and then finally you've got closed. Yeah, 5. And underpinning all that, you've got your monitoring and control. So as I say, the first phase is startup, and this is really where it's saying, okay, we've got an idea. Is it worth pursuing? So let's do some initial investigation. So the key document here will be your feasibility study document. And then if kind of like it's past that test and you want to explore it more, you go into the next phase, which is your initiate phase, initiation, some people call it. And this is kind of like where we're gathering basic requirements in order to get the project authorized and approved. So your key documents here are going to be your business case document, particularly if you're doing Prince 2, and your project charter document if you're working within the PMI BMBOK method space. Okay, and then we move on to the third phase, which is your planning phase. And this is kind of like where we kind of look at your basic requirements, look at your plans, and this is kind of like where you're producing your scoping document, i.e. what is going to be in, and more importantly, what aren't we doing? What assumptions are we making? What are our constraints? And what sort of plans do we actually need? You probably will need a resource plan. You probably will need a budget plan. You'll definitely need a communication plan. You'll need a schedule. Well, call it schedule plan, but you'll need a project schedule. What tasks are we doing? Who's going to do it? What's the start date? What's the end date? What's the cost of each of these activities or tasks or what have you? So that's basically kind of like, the planning. And then we move on to the fourth phase, which is called execute. We're actually doing the work. So we're producing a detailed requirements plan. We're probably going to have a solutions, a solution build. So in terms of the steps, my apologies. In terms of the steps within your execution, you've got detailed requirements, you've got design, you've got build, and you've got deploy. So those are your 4 main things. And the documents within those are your requirements documents, any traceability documents, solutions build, your technical documents. And once you've actually built what it is you're supposed to do, what are what testing are we going to carry out? Who's going to carry it out? What about acceptance testing by the users, training, and those kind of various documents as well of products that you're going to produce. And finally, when it's all done, we move into the last phase, which is your closure phase. So this is kind of where we have you producing your lessons learnt document and your closure report. And if your solution is accepted, it will move across. It will be into business as usual and becomes an operational activity. And then the project team is disbanded. Project manager is assigned to the next project, and the team go back either into a pool or back to their line managers, whether you're looking at a business space or a project space. And as I mentioned, okay, underneath that you've got your monitoring and control. So you've got your RAIDs items, your risk registers. What are your assumptions? What's your issues register? What about your dependencies? Both kind of like within the project itself and outwardly. What projects are dependent on you, and what are you dependent on for you to get your desired result? And then kind of within monitoring and control, you'll have any resourcing issues to contend with, scoping documents, change control, quality, all those various things. So as I say, the project lifecycle kind of I typically follow is start up, initiate, plan, execute, and deploy, and close. Hope you found that useful. This is Sheldon St. Clair. Hope you like my shirt, and enjoy today wherever you are. Okay, bye for now.